please stand for the presentation of the colors?
Color guard, attention. Color guard, advance. Color guard, prepare to post the colors. Color guard, post the colors. Everybody please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Scouts, please remain standing. Everyone else may sit down. Please join me in the scout anthem. On my honor,
I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country, to obey the scout law, to help other people at all times, to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight.
please join me in the scout law.
Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent.
2. You may be seated.
By the power vested in me by the Boy Scouts of America, Simon Kenton Council, the newly formed East Region or District, and Troop 103, I declare this Eagle Court of Honor to be in session. David, would you like to come forward? The red of my flag is the lifeblood of brave men ready to die or worthily live for this, our country. The white of my flag is for purity, cleanliness of purpose, thought, word, and deed. The blue of my flag is for faith and loyalty, like the eternal blue of the star-filled heavens. Tonight we have the honor and pleasure of recognizing Connor Turney for the award of Eagle Scout. The parents and scout leaders whom we honor tonight have labored long and faithfully to develop them toward alert and participating citizenship through the Scouts VSA program. Their efforts culminate this evening in the presentation of the Eagle Award. The success of these efforts, however, will not be manifested in the way this Eagle Scout sets social platforms for the lives they touch. Will the Eagle candidate, Connor Turney, please come forward to this court of honor and be prepared to receive the highest rank of the Boy Scouts of America. I want to talk a little bit about symbolism real quick. That's not in my script, so Mrs. Turney may get a little upset with me, but that's okay. We assembled some speakers tonight on the adult side. Fortunately, Rob Yoger had a prior commitment, and Mr. Tom Hatch, who is also former Scoutmaster, will be kind of pinch hitting for Rob. But there have been 4 Scoutmasters, best I can reconcile, that have touched Connor's journey into Boy Scouts of America. I believe he started under Mr. Rob Yoger, and then from there he went to Mr. Brian Smithers, and then myself, and then through the True North program, Mrs. Tina Olson has been the Scoutmaster of that program. So we are the 4 Scoutmasters that represent his journey from the beginning to the end. So with that, I'd like to introduce Mr. Brian Smithers.
I am the eagle. Since the beginning of time, man has used me and my brothers as a symbol of loyalty, power, victory, authority, and valor. My strength and courage have inspired men through the ages. Ancient man looked upon me as an Confederate, enemy of serpents. They saw the battle between the sun and clouds as battles between an eagle and a serpent. The ancient Assyrians associated me with Asher, the great sun god. I was held in awe and worshipped for my majestic beauty in the Assyrian myths. As a symbol of storms and lightning, and the god who carried souls to Hades. In India and Babylon, I was a symbol of fire, of wind, and storms, and the bringer of immortality. In the golden age of Greece, I was a symbol of victory and supreme spiritual energy. I was the sacred bird of Zeus, the ruler of all gods. The Greeks represented me with wings outstretched, holding a serpent in my claws. Thus, I represented the triumph of good over evil.
In Rome, I was the symbol of Jupiter, the supreme god. The Romans saw me as the symbol of victory. As the Roman legions conquered the world, they marched under the standard of the eagle with outstretched wings. The silver eagle was the symbol of the Republic, and the Roman Empire used the golden eagle as its symbol. I became the personal symbol and emblem of the Caesars, representing supreme authority. In the Middle Ages, I became the symbol of Germany, and as the falconry flourished as a sport in Europe, only kings were allowed to hunt with an eagle. The rise of Christianity brought me still more honor. To the early Christians, the eagle was the symbol of ascension. This was due to the strong flight of the eagle and its gaze fixed upon the sun. In early icons, I was best known as the symbol of St. John the Evangelist. The Aztec tribe of the classical era, this what is now Mexico, sighted me capturing a rattlesnake. They took this as a sign to settle at the place which ultimately became Mexico City. Today, my image stands showing this event on the Great Seal of the modern nation of Mexico and on the nation's flag. In Mexico, I did not just witness history in the making, but I helped to cause history.
In the 19th century, French troops under Napoleon conquered Europe under the symbol of the eagle. Many French soldiers gave their lives to protect the golden eagle, which supported the French flag on the battleground. On June 20th, 1782, I became the symbol of the new country. Because of my courage and beauty, I was chosen to symbolize the new United States of America. The eagle became a prominent feature of the seal of the state of the new republic. From the early beginnings, I have been used in many ways to symbolize the ideals of this country. Several states have the eagle in their state flags. You can find me in the coins of America from the beginning to present day. I have a prominent place in America and in ancient Rome as a symbol of power and authority. The emblems of the president, vice president, and several members of the president's cabinet and most branches of the armed forces center on the eagle.
From the god of the Assyrians to the symbol of the Caesars to the emblem of this country, it was thus fitting that the eagle should be part of the most monumentous achievement of man. The Apollo 11 crew chose Eagle as the name of the lunar module, which was to make history. And with the words of Eagle Scout Neil Armstrong, "Houston, Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed. Man was on the moon." In 1911, following tradition as old as man itself, the Boy Scouts of America chose the eagle to symbolize the very highest in achievement. Throughout all history, I have been the symbol of man's best. Now the eagle is the symbol of scouting's best. Now that the eagle is a symbol of scouting's highest achievement, we would like to present this to Connor Turney. In a moment, Tommy Obert will confer upon you, Connor, the award of Eagle Scout. However, I'm sure that you would agree, and I want to see a nod, that there are others who have had a significant impact on his journey to this point. And I'm ad-libbing slightly here, but as somebody who's been in scouting for a long, long time, it is very common or very uncommon for somebody to be so motivated to get through this whole program alone. And so there's some significant individuals who have played a major role in Connor getting here. So I'd like to first invite his mother, Lisa Turney, to come up and join her son Connor. You can go ahead and stand up, Connor. As well as current Scoutmaster Doug Snyder to join Connor as well. As the special guest of today's National Court of Honor, Tommy Obert will present the Eagle Award. I'll introduce Tommy slightly, although for most in this audience he probably doesn't need much introduction. But Tommy is an Eagle Scout himself from this very Troop 103. And throughout Connor's years in Boy Scouts, I also mentioned recent graduate from Canal Winchester High School as well. And throughout Connor's years in Boy Scouts, Tommy has definitely been there as a close friend and as a mentor. So I'll turn the time over to
Sorry.
Sure.
Okay. I think that one of the most important things in a Eagle Scout ceremony is to share some of the experiences you have with the Eagle Scouts. And of course, if you're going to tell a story, it has to be short, sweet, and embarrassing. So, I'm going to talk about a Klondike that we did when we were in Scouts together. There were only 4 of us on this trip. It was me, Connor, and Zane. So, we went in during one of the events. It was shelter building, and you have to create it out of what you can find in the woods, a tarp, and all the rope they brought. Us not exactly being entirely prepared, we did not bring any rope at all. So what we ended up actually doing was we started taking the shoestrings out of everyone's boots and we tied all of our knots together like that. And so I just think that was a great way of us doing everything. We figured it out and we got like 3rd place in the event. So I just think that's great. So first we start with the mother pin.
You go ahead and do the Eagle Award.
Eagle.
Yeah. It is with distinct honor and pleasure, as his mother prepares to pin it on him, that we present to Connor the Eagle Scout Award.
I guess we should rehearse this part.
This is where you
Should we also check the Eagle Award? No one will ever know the unnumbered, and probably truly unnumbered, acts of self-sacrifice and helpfulness from the mother of this particular Eagle Scout. I can testify from at least the short time I've known them, which has led us to this particular night. So we will ask Connor then to pin on his mother the mother's pin. In recognition of advice and guidance along the trail to Eagle, I asked Scoutmaster Doug Snyder to present this scout with the Eagle Scout certificate and personal letter from the Chief Scout Executive of the Boy Scouts of America.
This is a letter from Dan Honby, who is the current National Chair of the Boy Scouts of America. Congratulations, you're now an Eagle Scout. In completing all the requirements, you've mastered many valuable skills and made the Scout oath and law part of your life. What you've accomplished is impressive. It's also pretty rare. Fewer than 7 out of every 100 Scouts ever achieve this rank. It means you've dedicated yourself, put in the hours, and most importantly, found ways to benefit your community. Remember, your name now appears on an exclusive list whose members have excelled in fields from business to government to education. The common trait that you all share is leadership. We're counting on you to aim high and continue leading by your service and example. Again, congratulations and best wishes for much more success.
The Court thanks Tommy Obert for coming tonight and assisting in the presentation of the Eagle Scout Award to Connor Turney. We can have the guests return to their seats for now, except for our Scoutmaster. We'll turn some time over to him. As Connor, as you're about to officially join the ranks of the Eagle Scouts. Before doing so, however, we ask you to recommit yourself to the Scouting's essential principles, and our Scoutmaster will assist in delivering the Eagle Charge.
Would all the Eagle Scouts in the audience please come forward? Form a line over here. I have the honor to give you the Eagle Charge on the occasion of your elevation to the highest rank in Scouting. Scouts of all nations constitute one of the most wholesome and significant movements in the world's history. You've been judged by the Boy Scouts of America of being worthy of the highest rank in this greatest movement. All who know you rejoice in your achievement. Your position, as you know, is one of honor and responsibility. You are a marked man. As an Eagle Scout, you have assumed a solemn obligation to do your duty to God, to country, to your fellow Scouts, and to mankind in general. This is a great undertaking. As you live up to your obligations, you bring honor to yourself and to your fellow Scouts. America has many good things to give you and your children, but these good things depend on for the most part, the quality of its citizens. Our country has had a great past, and you can help make sure the future is even greater. I charge you, Connor Turney, to undertake your citizenship with a solemn dedication. Be a leader, but lead only toward the best. Lift up every task you do and every office you hold to the highest level of service to God and to your fellow man. So live and serve, that those who know you will be inspired to finer living. We have too many who use their strength and their brains to exploit others and to gain selfish ends. I charge you to be among those who dedicate their skills,
Citizenship.
training.
I
believe it to be the moment that helps a scout become
I believe it to be the moment that helps the Scout become
master of their own powers.
master of their own powers.
Help them get along with other people.
Help them get along with other people.
And help them find a worthy use for their powers.
And help them find a worthy use for their powers.
I therefore believe it is my duty
I therefore believe it is my duty
to do my best to obey the Scout oath and law.
to do my best to obey the Scout oath and law.
I hereby renew my faith in Scouting
I hereby renew my faith in Scouting
and promise to do what I can
and promise to do what I can
in service to the Scouts.
in service to the Scouts.
We have not come. We just signed that. Your conduct along the trail has been excellent. You have rededicated yourself to the principles of Scouting. But one more thing is important: your future. As an Eagle Scout, you become a guide to other Scouts of lower rank. You become an example in your community. Remember that your actions are now a little more conspicuous, and people will expect more of you. To falter in your responsibility would not only reflect upon you, but on your fellow Eagles and all of Scouting. The torch you carry is not only yours, but it is ours also. I challenge you to enter this Eagle family, holding ever before you, without reservation, the ideals of honor and service. By the repetition of the Eagle Scout promise before your fellow members, you will become an Eagle Scout. Though the words you say are similar to those by which you joined Scouting, they will mean more now than they could have meant at any time in the past. When you pledge yourself on your sacred honor, you will be sealing your eternal loyalty to the code of the Eagle Scouts. And with those words, which close the Declaration of Independence, Scouts, parents, and guests, please stand. Connor, please make the sign of Scouts and repeat after me. I reaffirm my allegiance
I reaffirm my allegiance
to the three promises of the Scout Oath.
to the three promises of the Scout Oath.
I thoughtfully recognize and take upon myself
I thoughtfully recognize and take upon myself
the obligations and responsibilities of the rank of Eagle Scouts.
the obligations and responsibilities of the rank of Eagle Scout.
On my honor,
On my honor,
I will do my best
I will do my best
to take my training and example,
to take my training and example,
my rank and my influence,
my rank and my influence,
count strongly
count strongly
for better scouting
for better scouting
and for better citizenship
and for better citizenship
in my troop
in my troop
and in my community
and in my community
and in my contacts with other people.
and in my contacts with other people.
To this I pledge my sacred honor.
To this I pledge my sacred honor.
Thank you. Scouts and parents and guests, you may be seated, including Connor. By the authority vested in me by the National Court of Honor of the Boy Scouts of America, it's my privilege and pleasure to pronounce you, Connor Turney, an Eagle Scout. May the oath that we have taken remain engraved in your heart forever. At this time, we're going to have a few adults that would like to share some thoughts on this momentous occasion. So with that, I'd like to turn the floor over to Tina.
It is really an honor for me to be here and to have been asked to come and share a few words, specifically about the National Youth Leadership Training Program, NYLT. I'll take Tommy's advice and embarrass Connor a little bit here. I remember him walking on to course as a participant, and he was so full of energy. And he rallied the troops and wanted to do a basketball tournament. And it was just so awesome to see a participant take that initiative and want to do something for the entire group, all of the patrols to come together and have this little competition. Then when we did interviews and we had, he expressed interest to come back and be on staff, that's where I see the most growth. I love the NYLT program. I've been involved in it for 7 years, and 4 of those have been with Connor. And the growth I've seen in him, in fact, so much so that this year, even with the COVID year we had, council decided they wanted to start a brand new course. And they asked me to be the course director of this brand new course. So I went back to all of my scouts from True North, and I said, look guys, I'm going to need your help. I don't have anybody, I'm starting from scratch, and Connor did not hesitate. He participated in both weeks, and he helped True North and he helped Trailblazer, which was just phenomenal. We normally don't like give a most valuable staff member. This year in our evaluations, if I was going to give anyone a most valuable staff member, it would be Connor for this year. Some of the things that were said about him was, and I'll just quote what they said, he was always kind and asked how we were doing. He was very relaxed and always a fun person to be around. He's just freaking awesome. He's funny and friendly. He's super excited and nice. Really good at volleyball. Easy to talk to. He talked to me like he was my friend. His bandanas were really cool, and he was always engaging and relatable. And I think that shows the value of the National Youth Leadership Training Program and what it does for the Scouts as they come up through that program. Connor, it's been a true, now I'm done. I mean, I've been a course director 2 years, council's like, you're out, which breaks my heart. But it's been a true honor for the past 4 years to know you, see your enthusiasm, and have the confidence. It gives me a lot of excitement for what the world has in store for them when they're youth like Connor coming up through the ranks, and what they take from the Boy Scouts of America program and apply it in their life. And Connor, congratulations. Thank you.
Mr. Bill Ruth. Bill Ruth is a long-term assistant scout master at Troop 103, and is probably one of the folks that belongs over here on this wall too. They've really been with Connor from the beginning.
I have nothing planned to say here, but that being said, I was just asked 20 minutes ago to say something, so hopefully I can keep it down in less than 20 minutes, because you don't want my 2-hour speech. I was asked to say maybe something funny that happened at Connor when one of the campouts or whatever. And all I gotta say is what happened at sea base stays at sea base. What happens at the canoe trip stays at the canoe trip. What happens at the summer camp stays at the summer camp. So I'm not gonna try to embarrass him, but really all I can say about Connor is, for the last 10 minutes I've been looking up, all right, what do I say? You start, all right, let me look at the scout ball, and I'll pick one word out of the scout ball that best describes Connor in my mind. Connor was always helpful. No matter where we were, whether it was on a canoe trip, I knew if something needed to be done, I could always ask Connor. Connor was always helpful on the canoe trip. He was always helpful at sea base, whatever was needed to be done, wherever I was at, and with Connor being there, he was always helpful. And that made, as an adult leader, you always need help with these things. You guys all know that. You always need help. You're always short-staffed or short people to do something. And I always know I can always go to Connor and he can get something done. He'd always help me do something. And so, it made my time in Scouts a lot easier, just knowing that you were there, that you could help out, and you would never complain about something, that you were always there to help. And so I just want to thank you for letting me enjoy my trips a little bit better. So, just thanks. You're very good.
All right, I think that leaves me with the last of the stories to tell. I have many. But I think the one that really represents Connor leadership in the Eagle Scout is one that was frustrating to me. So this started a little internal battle between Turney and I. Let's go into part of this as we get into this. Many, many months ago, we decided as a troop we were going to do a camp out. We were going to put up a monkey bridge. It's not the story you think. So I knew we owned a monkey bridge because the last time I was in Scouts, I spent 2 full campouts cutting rope, measuring it, and whipping the ends of it with pink string. So in my head, I knew exactly which parts made them up. And I spent 2, 3, 4 weeks having a discussion with Mr. Turney about which parts made the lump bridge. And staying true to his convictions, always in an appropriate way, he was adamant that I was wrong. And he, being the true Eagle Scout, knew I wasn't, because it wasn't possible. So this went on for weeks. So then we roll around to where it's now time to get the parts together, put in the trailer to take to do the lump bridge. So I have another assistant scoutmaster and I meet in the scout rooms, and we spend 3 hours measuring ropes, putting them in a trash can so we can go. And here's the thing, Connor. Troop 103 does not own the parts to make one monkey bridge. It owns the parts to make 2. His parts and the fingers. So my thought for you, Connor, is that when you know you're right, stand by your convictions. Get there, and I'm hoping you'll do that as you go forward, because that's the mark of the true leader. You knew what you knew, and you knew you were right. Even though I knew what I knew, and I thought you were wrong, it didn't make you waver from your convictions. So I actually have something I'd like to give you. So I have a coin. It's an oak coin. You've probably seen it before. But it has the 12 points of the scout line. Okay?
I've never seen it before.
Well, good. I'd like to give that to you. Because as you leave here and go on into life, and you've heard me make this comment other times on campouts, Thorns and Roses, places like that. No matter the question or the adversity that you're facing, the answer to the question is on the coin. Whatever it is you're facing in life, if you can't ground your decision or the approach you should take in one of those 12 points, look at the coin you got. I know you know that. I just want to give it to you as a solid symbol that you can take with you to remind you in the next 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years that the answer to the questions are in the training and leadership that you've received here. And they're contained in those 12 points. Thank you.
So they get some tissues.
All right, at this point, as we begin to come to the closing of this, I'd like to turn the floor over to Connor, where he has some remarks he'd like to share with us.
Oh, my list here is pretty extensive. So, as a lot of you may know, I have been in Scouts since day one. I'm Tiger Scout. I joined Pack 33 in Japan, overseas. There's active duty Navy. The only way that I would be here today is through that pack. Miss Jamie Peterson, my first ever den leader, convinced my mom to sign me up, and we've never looked back. And now we're here. So I would like to thank everyone who helped make this day possible. My aunt, my grandparents, Mr. Tom Marker, wherever he's back there with the camera, Mr. Kurt Dennis, who's doing the filming today, my brothers for helping out with the ceremony, and obviously my mother, who continuously kicked me in the butt to get this moving. Let's call a spade here. Again, shout out to Pack 33 in Japan, Ms. J.B. Peterson. From there, I moved to Pack 42 in Virginia. My Cub Master, not Scoutmaster, Mr. Jeffrey Burke, avid supporter of Scouts, reminds me a lot of Doug. They're very similar. Just both really Scouter guys. So he was pretty awesome. There's no other way around it. I'd like to personally thank Miss Michelle and Mr. Mike Haskins for helping the transition to this area smoother. I first got here and I was like, oh, what do I do? And you guys just made it so much easier. You made me feel so welcome. Nick included, and you're my den from the first day I was there. Going to the troop, I'd like to thank Mr. Rob Gilker, who couldn't be here today. Matt Shackelford, who was my basically my first ever older boy mentor. He kind of pulled me aside and said, all right, let's do stuff. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. I'd like to thank Mr. Brian Smithers, my second Scoutmaster. I think technically been Scoutmaster for the longest that I've been in the troop. Lots of adventures with him, lots of memories. Miss Jill Amos. There have been some pretty wild stories, some on the better side. There's a fairly even middle ground. But she has helped me make so many memories at summer camp. She's come through on merit badges. She's helped me out in some really tight spots, and I want to thank her for that. I would also like to thank Tommy and Connor over here in the Eagle's Nest for just helping me out through my time in the troop. You guys are awesome. Any other Eagle Scouts that I will not mention because they're not here, it's just thank you all so much. I'd like to thank Miss Olson through the NYLT program. I've learned so much. It's been truly an honor working with you. You've been my Scoutmaster and course director through there. And NYLT is honestly one of the best decisions I've ever made. So I want to thank you for that. I would like to thank Preston Booterbaugh, who have been SPLs that I've served under. You guys have taught me so much. Again, they couldn't be here today either. Moving into my Eagle Scout project was quite the endeavor. I would like to thank my grandpa Daryl, who kind of set me on the path. He sat me down and went, all right, this is how you're going to start this. He gave me the workbook, and he sat me down, he talked me through it, and I went, okay. Proceeded to forget everything, and then he walked me through it again. I would like to thank Mr. Larry Flowers, the representative from the Historical Society, who approached me with the project. Mr. Gilger, Mr. Smithers, Jeff Tomlinson, Phil Smith, Mrs. Obert for helping, contributing to the project. The McKnight, the Haskins, and the Danovich families for coming out and helping. And most importantly through the project, Mr. Tom Obert. Literally could not have done anything for that project without you. And I know a lot of other scouts can say that. You're a genius, what can I say? I just want to thank everyone in the troop. You guys are awesome. The scouts and all the leadership, all the adults. You guys have just been behind me the whole time, pushing me forward, creating so many memories. Tommy, again, you're one of my best friends, and I probably would quit without you, to be honest. But we made it. I want to thank my brothers. As much as we argue, and you guys are a little stupid sometimes, you guys are awesome. And I can't thank you enough for literally anything you guys have done for me. It means a lot. And then my mom. There's literally no way anything would have ever gotten done without you. I can't thank you enough. For putting this together. From putting this together to pushing me through the project, talking me back into going to the troop meeting. I'm like, Mom, I don't want to go. You're going, okay? Without again the kick in the butt, I wouldn't be standing up here. The pins over here. I have two mentor pins that I would like to give out today. The first one is going to Mr. Bill Ruth. Mr. Ruth has been a long-time leader since day one, Connor's dad. We've been on so many campouts and adventures that it's hard to think of one that you haven't been on. You've been looking out for me on every campout, and even outside of that, sending my mom pictures from cross country, from band, and just in general looking out for me. So I want to thank you so much. And my second one is going to Mr. Snyder. There's so so much I have to say from the story that you just gave. You've been the polar opposite to Mr. Ruth. He's the crazy uncle that takes us on all the adventures. You're the down-to-earth uncle that's like, all right, how's it going? Are you going through this all right? Obviously, you've been my scoutmaster for the past year and a half or 2 years, somewhere around that. You pushed me through the Funky Bridge the first time through line planning, the second time through other people's planning. Like I said, we've been on so many campouts, and even before you came to the troop with Zach, you've been looking out for me in the Cub Scout pack. I come and be like, so how's it going? And you make it rank. And I cannot thank you enough for everything you've done for me. It means so much. That's all I have.
Bryson, do you have a closing prayer? Bryson Hatch is currently the troop chaplain.
Okay, at this time, please remove your hats and get into a spiritual position. Dear God, thank you for letting us come here to celebrate Connor's Eagle award. And please bless out the refreshments that they may give us health and strength, and that we have a safe travel home. Amen.
All right. Before we close, there's one other thing that I would like to go off script to do. It's been a tough time for scouting. It really has. But the mark of an Eagle Scout has not changed, and the work that they do and the service that they give to the community is so unparalleled. But I want to kind of highlight, because we have an opportunity today to do something that we don't usually get to do, the strength of scouting in Canal Winchester. If you're in the audience and you are currently active in the troop and you are a life scout, please stand. There's 2 more, right? So I'd like the audience to understand that we have entered into the season in Canal Winchester of Eagle Scout Courts of Honor. We have another one in a couple of weeks, but Connor is the first of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We will have 6 Eagle Scouts in this troop before Thanksgiving. And it really goes to show, you guys can sit down. It's the power of the movement. It's the commitment of the adults. If you have ever served on the troop committee in any capacity, please stand. Or any troop committee, this one or another. You were on a PAC committee, were you not? You were, didn't you? Okay. It takes commitments of these adults to be able to make a program happen. You guys can have a seat. I just want to highlight, Connor, that there are a lot of people, and we've touched on a whole laundry list of people. But I want the audience to realize that what we have in Canal Winchester for scouting is unique. We went to summer camp this year up in Michigan. We went someplace different. Went to the 5th highest rated summer camp program in 2018, pre-COVID in the country. We were the 3rd largest troop in camp. We took 16 boys and 6 of us. Okay? Most scouting units are tiny at best at this point, but not in this community. We are strong. We're as strong as we've ever been. Despite COVID and the bad press and everything else, the bedrock principles that the adults are committed to and that the youth are committed to in this community ensure that there will be many days to come and that the best part of scouting is yet to happen. So with that thought, I would like to close this Court of Honor and ask the color guard to please come retrieve the colors.
Library, please prepare to retire the colors.